Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you. It will be Zabro and Top Gun battling it out. It is going to be a TvT again. Have fun from Top Gun. Zabro, what's the deal with Zabro? Is he playing random, or why is he playing Terran? I thought he was Protoss in the bracket.
Yeah. Well, I have no idea.
We'll go check.
Maybe he's using a
Terran. You're right. It's Terran.
Oh, I saw Protoss. I saw the Zeratul was on the thing, so I was like, oh, okay. But who knows? Maybe he was a Protoss player in the past and then transitioned over to Terran. Some people do that. I was a Protoss player previously, and then I transitioned to Zerg. So it's a race switching, dude. It's fun. I honestly love playing different races. I definitely think TLO, because he used to play random, is one of the best players out there because he has such strong knowledge of both Zerg and Terran, as well as Moro, who also plays Terran a lot, exclusively against Zerg, because ZVZ is kind of a ridiculous matchup at times.
Right.
So I feel like those players have the best in-game knowledge. Granted, they may not have the best mechanics or micro abilities, but I feel like they have the strongest fundamental understanding of the game. And when it comes down to it, they can hit really small timing windows if they're aware of what their opponent is doing. Like all builds have vulnerabilities that can be exploited, and that's kind of what Starcraft 2 is becoming about in terms of the meta game. It's exploiting those timings and then finding ways to exploit the exploitations of them. It's like, oh, okay, he's gonna push on my my one racks expand at this point with this amount of units. Well, guess what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to throw down 2 bunkers instead of just 1, and his push is going to do nothing. Right. So you kind of just find these counters to counters, and that's how the metagame is always changing. And I think players who play different races consistently adapt quicker than other players, and that's why you kind of see Moro spike up in tournaments really well once in a while. And it's usually around big meta game shifts.
Yeah. Well, I agree. And here we are in another TvT, though, between Zabro and Top Gun now, and it is cross positions on an enormous map, so this is another scenario that it's just about anything is possible. Just about anything is possible at this point.
Zabro has thrown down 2 racks, a little unusual for a TvT play, and he has a gas as well. I wonder if he's going to go like a 2 racks Marauder play. Marauders are great in the early game because that concussive shell can really help you kite units so well. Not that Terran has any units that are melee that are worth kiting, but I mean, kiting you can pick off a lot of units if they're on the runaway, so it's could be beneficial if he goes for a Marauder play here. We'll see what he does. Reactor
he does have that reactor going down, so my guess is he's going to stall gas. He's only got 1 guy on gas right now, so he's really slowed down his gas.
Interesting. This is
kind of lab going down, so he's going for a timing push here.
Yes, off 2 racks. And do you think he's probably going to expand out of this, considering the fact that he's pulled off gas?
Yeah, my guess is probably going to see an expansion. He's got a guy down there. Yep, there goes his command center. And it looks like Top Gun already has his about 50% complete. Yeah. A couple Marines for him out for defense for now, and he's just now working on number 2 in 3 racks. So
now, why do you think Top Gun took his second natural, his front door natural, not his back door? Is he not aware of his back door natural, perhaps? Or
I would guess at that at this point. This is still a relatively new map, and for players who don't play tons of tournaments, this map doesn't really get played very often because it is very big. It's usually only for tournament settings like this, especially in a good best of 1 type scenario. And so yeah, I'm guessing that this is probably just oversight. But as a rule, I like to see Zerg players expand here first. Is my favorite way to see Zerg expand, and then Terran, obviously, I think for them the best way to go is in the back pocket expansion is what we call it.
Yeah, the pocket expansion, just kind of like on Karvas, where it's really easy to take. And usually this is where you'll see a click third command center on a Terran, which is what I'm thinking we might see. Maybe he's even trying to like throw that off for Zabro. Maybe he's trying to like convince him that that I have 2 expansions out because you see this one in the front, so obviously I've taken the one on my back already. Could be something like that, a little bit metagamey stuff. Zabro's still pumping off 2 racks. Just Marines, though, no Marauders. There is a Reaper out on the map, and he's going to pop up right here.
Yeah, he's going to make it up here. He's also going to scout this factory going down for Top Gun.
Yeah, and he will pick off this SCV, and that's pretty good. That's going to delay the factory production. I like that he hopped down. Don't like that he hopped back up. I think he should have waited up and pop up there.
Yeah, a little bit closer.
And Top Gun is going to react. Oh, will he get the mule? Yes, he will get the mule. That's a pretty big pick. Wellworth the Reaper is going to delay the factory going up, and that's going to delay the starports and the medevac and even the upgrades because now he has to reaccolate some resources. So
yeah, I mean that's a good little harassment there, as well as getting that scouting into super important and Top Gun is supply blocked. Yeah.
That's pretty big.
That's big, and I think that with Top Gun, he needs more experience as a tournament player, and when you can keep pressure on him, there's little things like that start to pop up in his gameplay, like keeping himself not supply blocked it's a difficult thing for some people, and I know for me, for a long time, keeping myself in good supply position was difficult.
Oh yeah. Now I wonder what Zabro is doing here. What do you think of this? What do you think of his combat shield? He's got a lot of Marines out. He's got 19 to the 11 Marines of a Top Gun. What do you think about this? Do you think he's going to push with Stim with just a pure Marine and then expand and fall back? What do you think is going to come out of this?
Well, first off, I'm mystified, number one. I mean, what he set himself up to do was to go for a Stim timing push, is what it looked like to me. With that double racks, went straight for the reactor and the tech lab, and then, he should have got the Stim pack first is what I would have done. And then go for a Stim push with a whole bunch of Marines. I think he could have done a lot of damage there. But you see him transitioning into his Stargate. I assume that's going to switch over to that reactor here in just a moment. So my guess is he's going to go straight for some dropping. And drops could be very, very effective here. I think that we'll see him probably try and send one at least to the backside of the main here of Top Gun and try and hit up that main mineral line, and maybe even send one to the natural shortly after while his opponent's army is trying to react and getting themselves out of position. I think that would be a great play. Two-pronged drops like that can be super effective, but he is going to have to deal with siege tanks now. So I don't know. I'm not entirely sure where it's going to go from here.
Well, you can't forget, he delayed the factory, so siege tanks are going to be delayed, siege tech is going to be delayed. Top Gun doesn't have the money for siege tanks or siege mode right now.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He's actually behind in workers despite getting his expansion up significantly earlier than his opponent.
Yeah, he's got his siege tech on the way, but like you said, it's way delayed. We're almost 10 minutes in. He's just barely getting that siege tech started.
Now, if Zabro pushes so his Stim hits as... he's going for a double medevac Stim drop. I do like this. This is really smart. His Stim will finish by the well before he gets there. And Top Gun's pushing across the map as well. And this small engagement, this could be really bad. These Marines are better upgraded.
Good for Zabro. Very good.
Yeah, Top Gun doesn't even have combat shield, man. He does have a Banshee out, but that's not going to do very much. It doesn't have cloak. It can't even go to harass.
And I really like how quickly Zabro, he engaged well and then backed out immediately. Now he's setting himself up defensively. He's pulling his command center. He's pulling everything he's got up to his high ground, and he is going to go through with this drop. I think this is a smart play from Zabro. It's going to come down to whether he can hold on here at his main.
Yeah, if he holds this off in the main, the game is won. He's already ahead on expansion. And look at that. Using the SCVs, he's aware of the economic advantage. He knows that he can pull out more SCVs since he has the extra command center. And I think he's going to be okay. He's going to have a tank of his own come out. He's rallied up his Marines decently well. Meanwhile, the drop and the natural is taking apart everything. These Marines do have Stim. They're going to have +1 relatively shortly, but Top Gun's going to have +1/+1. And that can make all the difference in the world. And Zabro has pinned it up in the main. And Zabro is now picked off the expansion of Top Gun. Top Gun has just lost this game, I believe.
I think so. This is a tough position to be in. Zabro really defended well. I loved his decision making there. I think that was the best possible play, is to go for the drop and try his best to defend there. And I think he did a great job defending.
Yeah. And look at this. There's still so many Marines left. There's still 7 Marines left.
Yeah, I mean, with this much heal, it's going to be very difficult for him to hold this off. I expect to see Zabro pick these guys up here, actually, but looks like he is going to just let them kill as many SCVs as possible and then go for another push here in just a little bit.
35 have already gone down. It's 37. It's just 38. It just keeps climbing. This is a game for Top Gun. Very difficult loss to take.
Yeah.
This is some pretty high caliber play coming on Zabro. That timing push wasn't as pristine, but I like to see it have hit as soon. I would like to see Stim hit more in the area, getting closer to his base. I mean, that's really how timing pushes are supposed to work, is you're supposed to exploit the advantage you have the minute it hits, because that's when it's most significant.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean, I would have liked to have seen that from Zabro, but when it comes down to it, the rest of his decision-making has been absolutely spot on, though. Yeah. That's what we really like to see. Now, he has retaken his third. He's in phenomenal shape here defensively for now. He's going to be building up what he believes is the appropriate force for another either drop or for a big push through the center of the map here. It looks like it is going to be a drop. He's brought his medevacs back, and he's going to send them back with more Marines. This is great play.
Banshee has made its way in. There's only 2 Marines here, and there's a whole bunch of mules that just went out. Marines are back in the main though, so you will have enough to take care of it, especially with Stim.
Oh, look at that! How quickly it goes down. Yeah, I mean that was a nice play there from Zabro. Top Gun with a decent idea to try and put some harass on, but I mean at this point Zabro is just way too prepared for any type of harassment at his main. I think unless it's going to be something big like some serious drops or something like that. But yeah, I mean we're seeing Top Gun really in serious trouble right now. He's way under half of the supply count of Zabro, 46 to 103.
Yeah, 49. Yeah, 49 to 15 workers too. I don't think Top Gun knows about this expansion down here. I really think he doesn't. I think he thinks his opponent's just getting up at second base, and he's not as far behind as he thinks he is. I don't know. I'm kind of confused as to why Top Gun is trying to stick this out. I thought that would be GG right there.
Yeah,
maybe he's just trying to fight it out to the bitter end. This is a tournament for a decent amount of cash and a chance at even more money. So I can't really blame him for sticking it out.
Yeah,
and I like this idea.
For a drop of his own, you're seeing the same thing, aren't you?
Yeah. Double pronged.
Oh, the scan. That was a good scan, man.
Yeah.
And so he's got these siege tanks down here at the natural, and the main mineral line here is disappearing. I think Top Gun has kind of run out of options here. Yeah,
these siege tanks are now out of position. He's able to push the front despite the siege tanks being there. He has 1-1 on his Marines. The siege tanks don't have +1 attacks, and the Marines are just going to survive all the tank shots. And this is going to be it right here. He's going to clean the engagement up. Even if Top Gun's able to clear out this army, which he is, he still has a siege tank on the low ground to deal with. And looking at his worker count, 3 workers, 2 Marauders, 5 Marines, and a medevac to his name.
Yeah, and here comes your game-ending push. I'd be very surprised if we don't see this one end it, but we've got 3 tanks here, a good old slew of Marines, and 4 medevacs. I think this is absolutely GG. But I mean, you got to give Top Gun credit here for holding on. This is what I like about tournament settings: is sometimes you see players that will just do everything they think is absolutely possible to try and hold on in a best of one, and I think it's commendable to be working that out as long as he is.
And the GG coming out of Top Gun right there and then.
As soon as he saw it, he knew there was nothing else he could do. Beautiful game. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Grats to Zabro. We'll be seeing him very shortly, I assume. And thanks to Wendy for coming out and casting with me yet again. Catch you guys later.